We are live.
Yes, that's right. You appropriately echoed the countdown power. Great to see everybody. Welcome as you're getting on to the Builders Call today, March 15th, 2023. 1 day past Pi Day, 3.14 day. I know that all of you science and data geeks probably appreciate that. National Pie Day. Hopefully you got to eat some chocolate silk pie or lemon meringue pie or who knows what. But it is a privilege to be with you today, and really looking forward to our content. Founders are knee-deep in DigiLeads meetings and really exciting stuff that we're working on with the Lighthouse leads and digital lead enhancement that is going to be super beneficial for you all. But it's my privilege today for the Builders Call to introduce SVP, Senior Vice President Nate Auffort. And you know, mad respect, Nate, for you, for what you do in your agency. And right now, just to share a little data, Nate, I mean, you've been consistently #1 in our agency owner base shop recruiting dashboard that we built. And just so everyone on the call hears it, we're actually working on getting these dashboards available for you. It's actually in one of our current team's sprint cycles to get this out to you so you can start seeing some of your data, because what it allows you to see, if you're just joining us and you're new, I'll just kind of make it simple so you understand. It's going to show you where am I sitting in terms of my overall return on investment for recruiting, how am I doing with turning recruits into writers, and how am I doing with optimizing those writers that I have, getting to really help them maximize their impact and their production. And so, Nate, you've been consistently for the last few months as this dashboard is refreshed. #1, your APV per writer is 4 times the average of all of our agency owners. Your apps per writer is, let's see, so I'm pulling off the data here, just 3 point something times that higher than the average. 46% of your active writers are became seasoned new agents. You're crushing it. I mean, you are, when you have momentum, right? That's one thing that's fun to see. We were talking last week, you know, there's the Michael Jordans of the business, right? There's always superstars and people that love performing really well. I know Ashley Richard right now, watching her in Alaska, submitting apps, really fun. And just the high production level, looking at Rex Knight on the leaderboards, all sorts of people. You know, we like to learn from those superstars, right? And see what we can pull out and do better. There's all kinds of players on the team, right? And right now, you've been consistently performing really well. Let me ask you a couple of questions about that. I'll actually ask one before I turn it over to you. So what are some of the things, and you may be about to talk about this, so I don't want to steal your thunder, but when it comes to really optimizing your writers, so getting an agent who's coming to the business and really getting them to write at a high level, what are some of the most important things that you're doing there that are helping you see these results?
I mean, first of all, Brian, I appreciate all the nice statistics are funny. What do they say? 98% statistics are made up.
Except for this dashboard, because it's made by our business intelligence team, and it's all
okay. So these are real statistics.
It's all legit, 100% legit.
I would say #1, expectations and cycles. You know, you're not going to see my name on the leaderboard today for a base shop. You're not. And I'm okay with that because I understand that this business will go in cycles, you know, like your relationships, the weather, the stock market. And I think that anyone is brand new, getting involved, starting to build, you have to understand that, you know, people quit. You know, I was always taught the people you think can, can't, the people you think will, won't, the people you think won't, will, the people you think can't, can. And so having the expectation to realize that, you know, as I start to build, and I bring new people on, that there's some people are going to fly out of the gates, they're going to have great success, and they're no longer going to be here. There's other people who are going to struggle a little bit. They're going to grow as a person. They're going to stay, you know, in the hard times and the turmoil and the obstacles, and they're going to end up being a long-term, you know, agency owner or even, you know, an equity partner. So to answer your question, when you're brand new, I was always kind of taught by my mentor was to, you know, it's great to look at a Lamborghini and walk them around and show them how great it is and turn on the engine. And there's another thing where you put them in the car and you say, hey, here's a $100 bill. I'm going to put it on the dashboard. I'm going to count to 3. If you can grab it, it's yours. And you step on the gas and boom, next thing you know, they're back in the seat. they can't grab anything, So, that $100 bill is safe. So when I get someone started, my biggest thing is to get them involved right away, put them in the system, put them in the training, put them in getting an application written as quickly as possible in a warm market. I always talk about doing practice presentations.
Yep.
One of the things I was always, taught too is that, it's great to buy leads and everything else, but like, who do you want to practice on? You want to practice on a brand new person you spent $55 on, or $36 on, or $20 or $50, whatever the cost of the lead is? Or do you want to just pick up the phone and say, hey, look, I just got involved in a new company. I'm very excited about it. They have leads for me to purchase and talk to qualified clients who want our product. But, I need to do about 10 practice presentations. Could you help me out?
Yeah.
Could you help me out? Can I just kind of practice with you? You don't have to buy anything from me. I just wanted to sit down and go through a little bit of a presentation. Could you help me out? I mean, like, if you talk to 10 people that that are friends or family, or, who's not going to help you out? I mean, if you called me, Brian, and said, hey, could you help me out? I'm in the financial services business. I'm very excited about it. I need some practice. I need to practice presentation stuff. Can you help me out? I go, yeah, sure. Great. Well, I got mortgage protection if you own a home, or final expense. And again, we have a very short period of time. I'll just kind of go through the product. Which presentation would you want me to, go through with you? Get a client qualification form done, do a quote, go through the virtual mentor, call your upline. Here's their, they have diabetes, whatever the case may be, and you're practicing it. And what's funny is if you go through 10 practice presentations, most of my agents will get 3 or 4 apps out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you're sitting down and what we do makes sense.
Yeah.
No offense, we're not selling shampoo or, some type of, underarm deodorant, or, the newest, greatest pill. It's going to make you, have energy all day. We're dealing with real life stuff.
Yeah.
And most people, before I got involved in this business, Brian, I've never sat down with my wife prior to this business and said, hey, if I die tomorrow, what happens? Isn't that funny?
Mm.
I made millions of dollars in their business. I never sat down and thought about it. I never had that conversation. And when I first got involved in this business, sitting in people's homes, most of the time I realized it's the first time in their life they ever had a conversation with their spouse, their loved one, their partner, whoever it is. But what if something happens? What next?
Right.
And so even your warm market, the people who think, we all think everyone knows about life insurance, but what, 47% of people are underinsured, and all these statistics like you talked about, which usually are made up, but yours aren't. They don't ever talk about it.
Yeah.
So if you've been doing this practice presentations, you actually have a conversation with them. Most people don't know what an equity index universal life is. They don't understand their 401k. It can tank in the market, or they have to pay taxes at the very end of it. These are things I thought I was fairly smart when it came to the financial world. And I started learning, I realized how dumb I was. So if I look back at me going, hey, I can have a nice car and a nice house, but I was clueless on how really money worked, and especially in the insurance industry. I didn't understand you could have a policy you could borrow from. The money would stay in there, earning interest while I'm paying my house taxes, or I'm paying off my debt, or I'm buying a car. I didn't understand that. I didn't know about that. These aren't classes that you have. So I think one of the biggest things I talk to my brain of people about, don't take what you do lightly. You have an insurance license. You spent 20-hour course online, whatever the case may be. You are an expert at what you do, even if you're brand new, whether you know it or not.
Right.
Because they don't have a license. The people that have a lead, if they knew where to go to get the information, they would have already gone there. So it doesn't matter if you're involved for one day. I mean, my biggest thing is my first appointment, Brian, I say, I always tell my new people, I've been doing this long enough to realize. What's that mean? What's that tell you? I apologize. My dog's barking. I got workers here. We had a flood in our house, so I apologize. So
All good.
Out for 1 second.
No problem at all. We can't even hear the dogs that you.
Oh, you can't? Okay, good. Well, I can hear it really bad. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hopefully it helps answer your question.
No, that's perfect.
Get them in the car and get them moving.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we don't want to be over-informed and under-involved. And I think your, again, your ability to help drive results in people and to help them achieve their goals, I think it's been really evident in the metrics. Before I turn it back over to you, I know we're going to have 20 minutes to hear from you some more. Let's do a Nate Auffort, getting to know Nate Auffort. I know you're an Eagles fan. What's one or two other things that we should know about Nate Auffort from the fun or family circle of influence? Like, do you like golf? What do you love doing that's outside? I know you love your job, your work, your job. You love your work, your different things. What's fun for you? What's some insights that we don't know about in Auffort that we can know?
That's a tough question because
It
I
is.
was just talking to someone. We went to the TPC Sawgrass and Excel testing, Mike Goff. They took us there. We had to stay in the 17th hole right on the island green. And I was there for 4 days and I was going nuts. I mean, it was fun the first day. And I was walking around with Gus Villagran, who's one of my business partners, who's about to hit, the top contract level. And it's like, I was like, I don't know. It's tough. I can't sit down and watch TV.
Right.
I can't I can go golfing and it's fun and everything else, but like I was really taught and raised up to feel like I need to accomplish something. So like things I like to do, I like to be accomplishing things. It sounds silly, but if I'm cleaning the garage and I get it done, I feel like I accomplished something. If I sit down on TV and try to watch Netflix for 30 minutes, I can't really do it. So maybe I'm not that fun, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what fun things. I mean, I love the golf. I love to go on vacation. I love the beach. I love all that kind of stuff. But it gets to a point where, after a bit, it's kind of like, let's get to work. Let's go accomplish something. Let's do something. Yeah. Let's build something,
Yeah. I mean, you clearly thrive around people and helping other people to get their businesses up and going. And so, really excited to hear what you planned for today. Now that I pulled from you a little bit, talk to us again. This is the Builders Call. Thank you everybody for being here today and for your investment of time. And already I know it's been valuable, but fire away. What you got for us?
Well, I don't want to disappoint anybody. I really didn't have anything planned for today.
Thanks for you're not.
I thought you were asking me questions. We're going to go back and forth. I didn't know I had to actually plan something, but
I'm happy to do that too. You want me to keep going?
No, I mean we're good. I'm just trying to find my app. I was going to share my screen. I can't find my pen for my what do you call that? The little notebook thing I have.
Your iPad where you can draw all the magic.
Exactly. Well, I guess we're not going to draw today because I can't find it. I lost it. I mean, when it comes to building, I mean, again, everybody. I was talking about this to my team the other day. It's like every time you sit down, right? If you're brand new or you're on this call, you're on the builder's call, you're like, oh, should I build? Should I start to recruit? Maybe I should wait a little bit till I get my feet wet before I start to really, get other people involved. And if I look back in the last 10 years being in this business, Brian, it's like every single time we sit down at an event or a spring fling or a fall tour or the conference or whatever it is, and they always have the panel come up, right? The builders panel. And they all sit there. And somebody always asks without fail, what's the one thing you would do different? If you could go back in time, what would you do different? And there's people that are making millions of dollars. A Jacob Pogue, an Edward Pritchett, making millions and millions and millions of dollars in this business. And without fail, every one of them says, I would have started recruiting earlier. Number one thing. And the hard thing to get past, I think, when people get involved in this, and I got to cheat a little bit because I got involved in other organizations, other companies where we would build, is that you want to start right away. Like when you first get involved in this business, you want to start building. And people sometimes I had a struggle with that. Like, well, how can I train someone to do something that I don't know how to do? Well, you're right, you can't. But the magic of the system is that you don't have to. I don't have to teach Brian Williamson or a Chris Clark or a Kate Wenhurst or a Jason Dixon. I don't have to teach you anything. I just have to get you involved, expose you to the opportunity, allow you to make a decision you want to get involved, and then pass you up to my upline, someone who's been around longer than me. And there's always someone in your upline that's been around longer than you who will direct them and guide them to Summit or the videos. And it's all there. And so many of us, including myself, I mean, I was involved in the business. I did network marketing when I was in my 20s, and I was broke. I mean, there's people making millions of dollars around me, driving luxury cars, pulling up in the office in Mercedes and Porsches, and had their name plate on. I was like, wow. And here I am living in an apartment on an air mattress with 8 friends of mine, and my car got repoed 3 weeks ago. Same product, same company, same opportunity, broke, millionaire. And what I was always sitting there feeling like was that, like, I need to know this nugget. I need to know something that they know that I don't know. There's something that they have, something that, they possess, or some magical dust that I need to have in order to have success in this business because they're successful and I'm failing. And what I love about this business is that it's so simple what we do. And so many of us complicate. I complicated for 3 or 4 years. I never made over $3,000 in a month in that company. People are making 20, 30, 40 grand a month. I met my mentor in my life and he came in and he said, hey, what's the most amount of money you ever made? I said, $3,000. I mean, embarrassing. 4 years in the business. How much volume have you ever done? 17 grand. Okay. And we went on a trip and I qualified by accident to go on one of these trips to his house and everything else. And, I was following him around like a little kid, like, what about this? And what do you do here? What about, he'd stand up and walk away and he'd stand up and walk away. And we're sitting in the boardroom, right? And back then we'd suit up. So I had my tie on and my Sears suit, one suit and like 17 ties to make it 3 shirts. And I forgot my dress shoes, I had my flip-flops on. So he'd be like, hey, nice shoes, brother, right? Nice shoes. We're sitting around this big table. He goes, I hope everyone had a great weekend. Does anyone else have any questions besides Nate? So that was the one just asking, right? So I went up and I said, can I have your pager number? I know I'm dating myself. I'm almost 48 this month, and he said, ask those 2 questions. How much money you made? What's the most volume you did? He said, yeah, you can have my pager number if you go out and do $25,000 next month. And he walked out and I'm like, Brian, like, no, I need to know what you know. So next month, guess what I did? 35 grand. Same product, same comp pen, same no car, same air mattress, same crappy apartment I was living in. And it was the first lesson. I'm like, I already know enough of what I need to know, do it. I didn't have a reason big enough why to lose something that I really, really wanted. So I got his pager number and a year and a half later, I'm a millionaire in that business, selling whatever it was. So I got to cheat when I got involved in here because the things he kind of taught me was, hey, everything that you do is very, very simple. If you can go out and you can buy a lead and write an app one time, you can do it 100 times. You can do it 500 times. You can do it 1,000 times. And if you can go out and buy a lead and write an app or talk to a warm market or refer or whatever else, or write an application, do more of it. And if you can expose someone to an opportunity and get yourself out of the way, don't make you the focus, you get them out of the way, expose the opportunity, edify the person that you're working with, your leadership, what they've accomplished, how they helped you in your life, where you were before, where you're at now, what makes you happy. It's not about the money. Hey, I was working blah, blah. I was making whatever it was. I wouldn't have time my children have this. Now, here's my life now. It could be a week, it could be a month, it could be a year, whatever the case may be. And you get yourself out of the way and you take the focus off of you. The opportunity with Symmetry will sell itself. I mean, my gosh, if you look at it's so attractive, right? I've never talked to somebody. And here's another thing I always talk about, make a list of people that that we can start talking to. And everyone wants to put I have a brother-in-law that hasn't worked for 8 months. I think he'd be great for this. No, he's not going to be great for this. I haven't talked to one person, Brian, in the last 10 years who makes over 100 grand a year who didn't look at the opportunity and recognize the quality of it. Doesn't mean they got involved, but they referred me to people that were looking for an opportunity. It's all about timing in people's lives, right? One of my agency owners, I recruited when I first got involved. He got excited about it, moved to another company, got an opportunity to work with a business. 3 years later, it failed, calls me up. Now he's one of my AOs. Most of the individuals that I have that are high producers came from 3, 4, 5, 6 levels deep. Talked to someone who knew somebody, who knew somebody, who knew somebody, who knew somebody, and boom, they engaged. So when I look at someone I first get involved in, I'm not looking to go out and recruit my mom, dad, brother, sister, aunt, uncle necessarily. They may get involved. I want to know who they know. So Brian, how many people do you know that I don't? If I said, hey, put down on a list right now, 20 people, 100 people, I'll pay you $1,000 for every person, everyone name that you write down on a list, a piece of paper. You got 10 minutes, go. How many people would you write down?
Quite a bit.
What's quite a bit? Look, my bank account, I have quite a bit. How much money is that? I mean, what's quite a bit? How many people would you write down?
In 10 minutes?
Yeah, 10 minutes. $1,000 per name on the piece of paper.
I'd probably feel like I get in the 250 range.
250 people. So if I sat down and showed a video or an opportunity to 250 people, how many do you think of those people would be as smart as you and recognize the same opportunity that you did? You're shaking your head. How many people think would?
I have no idea. 10%, 15%,
What if only 5 did?
right?
What if out of 250 people, 245 told you're crazy, that's stupid, I can't believe it, insurance sucks, it's a scam, which ain't gonna happen, but let's say it did. And only 5 people got involved. And we took those 5 people, we worked with them, we trained them, where could your income be in the next 6 months? If you had the 5 out of 250 people developing and working your organization, where could it be? So now I can start, and again, we don't have much time to do all this. We have like 9 minutes left. I can start drawing out, and I'll literally sit down with someone and go, great. Who do you know, Brian? Give me three people that you know. Boom, boom, boom. Give me 3 people right now that you know. On the top of your head. Just name them. Doesn't really matter if they're going to do this business or not, but just 3 people you know.
I'll go Mark, Jeff, and Jason.
Mark, Jeff, and Jason. Do you know anybody else that Mark knows?
Sure.
Name 3 people Mark knows.
Michael, Matthew, and Todd.
Todd. You know anybody else that Todd knows?
I'm not too deep in Todd's network, actually.
How about Matthew?
No, actually, no. Todd, I could go Todd. Let me go back to Todd. I would say Rod, Randy, and another Todd, actually.
Another Todd. You know anybody that Randy knows?
Yeah, actually, a lot of people.
So, again, we have 8 minutes left. I'm sitting down. I would actually literally be drawing this out. I draw this out with my guys going, okay, great. Who do you know? And as I'm going down here, like in 5-10 minutes, I can have 40, 50, 60 names on there. And now their brain, they're visualizing going, wow. And their brain subconsciously goes, I had no idea I know as many people as I do. Because if you sit down and go, hey, make a list of people that you know, most people are like, they're thinking about who would want to sell insurance. They know nobody. I make it very simple to them and go, hey, name 3 people that you know. If I had told you, pull out a list and write whatever names you can, I'll pay $1,000 per name. How many would you put down? And so now they're starting to visualize it. Once they start to visualize it, a lot of the anxiety, a lot of that stuff overcomes. Because I'm like, I don't care if your mom does this, but your mom knows people that you don't.
My mom, by the way, my mom definitely, she is a total connector, lives in New Jersey. You'd love her. Grandma Campanosi, that's her maiden name. She knows hundreds of people. She'd actually be a killer resource. By the way. I'm gonna get off the text. Exactly. No, straight up. I think, again, making this so simple and practical without assumptions, are they interested or not, but just kind of finding what's that fishing pond look like these days. I definitely think that confidence level, right? Like what you're helping people see today is that number one, that they're expert they're way further down the line. They probably know too much already, right? That it's true, right? As much as I'm the learning and development guy, I'm actually with the fact, I'll talk about this next week, where you know what you need to know is what you need to know. Like, what do you need to know right now? Well, I just need to know probably 1 or 2 things to enough to in this case, right, show up on a Zoom or pick up the phone and have a conversation and follow a script, right? I don't need to know all of that. So you're helping us to see that we're further along, or folks on this call further along than they are. They probably have way more access to people than they think. And then the confidence to step into that is huge. And I think you're really good at helping to kind of level up people's confidence to step into those opportunities.
Well, when you can get in the car and you can feel the car as opposed to walking around it and imagining what it could be like, your confidence automatically increases. I can tell you how fast my McLaren goes, and all day long, or I can just say, hey, get in the car, put your seatbelt on, boom. And they're driving around grabbing your leg because you're going around the corner at 80 miles an hour. They go, wow, I see now what this car can do. So if I can get them to see what it can do, I mean, like, great. How am I going to talk to my mom? Hey, mom, I just got involved in the company. I'm very excited about it. Listen, I'm running a lot of ads in the paper, doing LinkedIn, Career Builder, whatever. We're not finding the quality people that we're looking for. I know this is something you're probably not going to be interested in, but I know quality people hang around quality people. Could you do me a favor and watch this 10-minute, 12-minute, whatever video you guys are using, and give me your honest feedback and opinion, and let me know if you happen to know anybody who may be looking for a career change or an opportunity. And what happens in a very indirect way, you send that video out, the right people recruit themselves. Or your mom goes, you're right, I have no interest in doing what you're doing, but Sally at church the other day was telling me how upset she is with her job because her boss is has her foot on her neck and she's so sick of it. You should call Sally. And so having the ability to do that, it's not a complicated thing. But if you just sit down with someone and go, Oh, great. Make a list and start calling people that you know. It's scary because you're like, well, I'm not gonna call my mom. What's my mom gonna do? But like you said, she's a connector. I'm looking for people that have a circle of influence. Who's the most popular person when you show up to your kid's basketball game? Who's the most popular person when you have a church picnic? Who's the most popular person, whatever, when you go play Uno or bowling or cards or whatever the case may be, or golfing? Who's someone that has a good center of influence? My entire team, Brian, came from people that I talked to that had a good center of influence. My wife's ex-husband had a good center of influence. I recruited him when I got started. There's people in my organization who came from him. Why? Hey, listen, you're an awesome dad. Your wife ex-wife thinks highly about you. I have an opportunity here. I don't think you'll be interested. I know you love what you do, which he didn't. And I sent him a video and he actually got started in the business. So it's like, when you think about who do you know, don't let it put this block up. Like, I don't think they're going to do it. It doesn't matter if they do it. I'm not looking for them to do it. If they accidentally do it, great. I'm looking for them to introduce me to the 250 people that you know. Because out of those 250 people, how many of them know people that I don't, that you don't?
Let me ask a question. Let me run this back a little bit. So I'll play devil's advocate here just because I want to hear how you'd respond to this, right? Let's think about the people on the call. And this hasn't come through in the comments or anything, but let's just imagine somebody's like, okay, well, that's good for you, Nate. You're kind of this wild, extrovert personality, pioneer type. See, I finally got there. I get you're a pioneer. We're all good. No, pioneer type person, but man, you don't know me. I'm a quieter person. I only have 2 friends. And no, and
I already know the answer to that one. It's easy.
I know, but seriously, like help us run it back for people that would say that's just you. I'm like, because the reality is there is a big gap between how you practice that and probably at least some of the people on this call, right? Where they feel like, boy, that is a huge step. So I'll break it down. What would you say to them?
I need your help. Listen, I just got involved in the company. I feel a little bit overwhelmed. You know me, I'm not a big extrovert. They're talking about a lot of things that are very exciting. People are making a lot of money, and I would just like to get an extra set of eyes on this. Could you help me out? I have like this 12-minute video. It talks about the company, the product. I don't really understand a lot about it. I know you own your own business and you're very successful. I don't know a lot of successful people. If I send this over to you, could you take a couple minutes out of your day, watch it, and give me your honest feedback and opinion, and let me know what you think?
That's so good, Nate. I really appreciate that. That is so, just encouraging that genuine, sincere, honest. Sometimes I think people feel like in any kind of sales context, right? You almost have to become someone you're not, but just saying, hey, look, even saying like, hey, I'm not usually the person that reaches out to you, but I'm asking for your help here. That's so sincere and so legit. I really appreciate you sharing that with folks.
Well, that's literally, I know I'm all on fire and everything else, but like I sent a video to 10 people, 9 got involved because I wasn't trying to recruit them. And people are asking what video. Talk to your upline, your agency owner. There's all sorts of videos. Every organization uses a different video, or they have a process of this video, that video, this video. It's just about exposing them. Casey always said you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. So if I expose them, and the last thing I'll tell you, because I know we run out of time here, I want to talk to everyone I know so that when the timing's right in their life and they're looking for an opportunity, they don't answer a career builder or a LinkedIn or a Facebook of somebody else's in Symmetry. Your worst nightmare, thank God it hasn't happened to me here. Your worst nightmare is you go to a conference, there's 7,000 people in the stadium, and you're in the hallway getting a little Coca-Cola or a Red Bull or coffee, and someone taps you on the shoulder, and it's your best friend from freaking high school. You haven't talked to in 10 years. What are you doing here? Oh my God, well, so-and-so. Why not at least let them know what you're doing? And if the timing's not right, great. When the timing becomes right, guess what? They'll pick up the phone and go, hey, Brian, are you still with that company you showed me 3 years ago or a month ago or 10 years ago or 5 years? Yeah, actually I am. Instead of going, hey, I need a job. Here's my resume. And someone else recruits them, because if you put your resume out anywhere, you're going to talk to a Symmetry person. You are. If you're looking for a job change or a career change, you're going to talk to someone from Quality, Symmetry. You're going to talk to somebody. So why would I let them know at least what I'm involved with? And if I have that, we talked to the call and the same thing, expectations.
Yeah.
My expectation, Brian, is I want to get you to take a look at what I'm doing so you know what I'm involved with and find out who you know. And then you decide to get involved. you exceeded my expectation. Because all I want to do is find out who you know, and who do they know, and who they know. And if you go deeper and deeper and deeper, the quality of people continues to increase. If you talk to the 10 people that you know, that are the best people you know, and talk to the 10 people, the best people they know, it only increases. So I think we're out of time.
We are out of time, and gosh, super grateful, Nate. Always amazing investment. Those of you that are on the Achieve phase of Summit, the 4th phase, Nate and Brad Smith have some great content in that phase, as well as a lot of stories from our 130s on their journey. So do dig into that. That's something that you all have to look forward to as you continue your Summit journey. But yeah, super grateful, Nate. Lots of amazing comments and contributions. This was a incredibly valuable call. I love hearing you speak, and feel like you always add value, even to me, and not like even to me as if no one does, everyone does, but being an outside of
even
the
to you, yes,
outside, yes, even to me, outside of the practice of the insurance industry proper, not being an agent, I always find it valuable what you have to share. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me on. I really honor and a privilege, honestly, to be on with such an incredible company, and what Brandon and Casey and Brian, we always talk about what they've created and everything else. So super great. Thank you so much.
You bet. Whoops. 1 second there. Welcome to the national call, everybody. And just so y'all know, we have founders are deep into digital leads today, digital lead meetings, and really excited about all that's happening with Lighthouse Leads and all the work that's being done behind the scenes. And I need to pull up my presentation again, so bear with me. But Chris Clark, I'm going to pull you on while I get this back up. So good to have you. I'll introduce you properly later, but excited to have you and your crew on here. Tell me now I got my present back up.
You vamp. I'll buy you all the time. What do you need? I can
no. Oh no, man. All good. Give me the skinny about what you're processing today, if my screen wants to load here.
I'll give you the real skinny. I think the elevator pitch version of what we're going through is, a lot of success is paradoxically just about making a decision to be successful. And I have, first of all, I have a great team that I continually am amazed that they chose to work with me. Mm-hmm. But have a great team of people that are going to talk about like their personal experiences, what they've seen, what they've struggled with, lots of transparency, lots of vulnerability, just, the third core value, open, honest, productive communication. Like we're going to talk about it. And so we're going to lean into that. And it's going to be, as what we call in our agency, it's going to be a real ding danger. So guys, get your pens out, because we're going to be trying to keep up with the amount of energy that Nate brings today. But at a minimum, like I said, real ding danger.
Nice. Fantastic. Well, really looking forward to that. And I will ask that we roll the video and get ready to jump into this. We get a little promo.
Something we've been looking forward to for a long time. You guys ready for this event?
Sure.
We want to be leaders worth following. It's important that we really lean into who we are.
We're part of something that's really going to change people's lives, really change people's lives, and change an industry.
We definitely do not want you stuck halfway up the mountain when you could be summiting.
So we support them, we listen to them, we encourage them.
If we can really deliver the right message at the right time in the right way to our customers, we win big.
We can absolutely change this industry and change the world together.
Love it. So good. Excited for Spring Fling next week, and really pumped to see everybody there that'll be there. I'm gonna have to ask for a backup presentation share. I was about fixing to text Ditson, but wondering if on the call there is either Mr. Ditson. Do you have access to the PowerPoint for today?
Let me take a quick look here.
Yeah, sounds good. Juliana or somebody zip that over to Ditson, and you can play screen clicker because mine's not playing nice. So it's always fun to experience technical difficulties. So please stand by. In the meantime, I'll let you know again, if you're just joining us, we got Spivey, Resma enjoying a nice moo trip in Hawaii. We got founders jumping in on DigiLeads today, all sorts of good stuff happening behind the scenes. And those of you that asked about recruiting video or the videos, like what videos do you send? I know Nate was talking a lot about just that process of, inviting people into the process and into the opportunity. We're actually doing some good work on that behind the scenes to update that. I know Danielle, who's working with Spivey and agent engagement, has been working hard on a work group for folks to really help your recruiting efforts improve more and more. So super pumped for that. And man, lots of good stuff happening. So thanks for bailing me out here, Ditson. You having a good week, buddy?
Absolutely, having a great week. We're almost there. If I can get this to share my beloved screen. Oh, look at that.
Love it.
In the clutch.
That was very clutch. Thank you very much. All right. Well, you're going to be the clicker. We'll do leaderboards.